iPad, a machine that is very powerful, a machine that is being used by a wide generation of people around the world. This is the non-M1 iPad, and this serves the purpose. But when iOS 15 got released few days back in WWDC 2021, dub 21, a lot of people got pissed off. Well, what is the relation with astrology in this? Actually, astrology is life, and if you are a true seeker, you can see planets working, and the understanding of the planets can come through mundane activities, through day-to-day activities of the life. There may be no direct correlation, but something serves as a very good example. Such examples are available right in front of us, and if we have the eyes to see, we will understand the working principle of a planet in a much better way. iPad. Now, why iPad? Because everybody wanted to make this iPad a MacBook. Now, I do have a MacBook, which is the 16-inch MacBook. This is a computer. This is a wannabe computer. This wants to become a computer, has all the power-packed chipset inside, has sufficient RAM, has sufficient memory, the processing and everything is fine, but this cannot become this. The performance level of this MacBook and the performance level of this MacBook may beat any, maybe comparable in a Geekbench score or something. But when come to real life productivity, when it comes to real life application of your work, macOS is way better than iPadOS. Yes, this is not touch. This is a touch-based screen. You can simply use your Apple Pencil and you can draw shapes, you can take notes. But this cannot become a MacBook. But all of us wish that this small, delicate machine, this unique machine that you can just hold, this is how thin it is, becomes your day-to-day computer. This should replace the 13-inch Mac. This should replace Windows. Especially people who are in Apple's ecosystem wanted some unique software update that should have come in iPadOS 15. But it didn't. You know why? Because all of us were under an illusion, because there was a chipset upgrade, Apple put M1 chip inside this machine. So we assumed, because M1 is coming from a laptop, we assumed this is a laptop. A lot of us bought iPad just thinking that there will come a time in future when Apple is going to bring Final Cut Pro, editing software, pro software and this. But if there exists a pro device for pro users, what's the point of bringing the same thing in this machine? Illusion of Rahu. Rahu is in the sign of Taurus. When Taurus has Rahu in it, Rahu wants to create an illusion of resources. Rahu wants you to believe that you have so much of resource that you can do wonders with it. But actually you don't. In reality, the expression of life is very different than your assumption. You assume this to be a computer, but in fact this is an iPad. There are hundreds of users using this iPad for a whole totally different purpose. Students taking notes. They don't need Final Cut Pro in this. They don't need Logic Pro in this. They needed iPad because iPad is an iPad. The use case of this machine is limited to this form factor. The use case of people with thinking that Rahu in Taurus is going to give them big financial gains, a lot of success, must see the practical implication of their desire, must see a broader picture. This is what Rahu does. Rahu gives us an illusion because of some hardware update. A resource came in, M1 was a resource that was made available, and we assumed that it will become some, right from tiny minion, it will become a big dinosaur that will serve our purpose. We forgot that the tech community who is consuming products like Windows, technical products like Mac, PCs, Windows, are a tiny fraction of a way bigger ecosystem. But because of the effect of Rahu, a person's thought process becomes limited to self. When Rahu is in Taurus, you always think about resources that you can consume. You don't think about environment. You don't think about bigger picture. Everything goes into the darkness, in the shadows of the Chaya Graha Rahu, and all you think is what's best that you can get. See, it's not wrong. But if you bought an M1 iPad thinking that it will replace a computer, it was a mistake. A lot of people are returning the iPad, especially in the US. I don't know what is the case in India, but that was not a pro-choice, that was not a pro-decision. And that decision-making difference created a financial loss. That's exactly how Rahu works. First, it will create an illusion of resource. Then it will create an assumption in your mind, because after all, people are not angry with the hardware. People are angry with the software. Software is Rahu. You can't touch and feel software, but you can visually see it. It is working behind in the chipset. People are angry what Rahu promised. And that's what Rahu will do. Rahu can say, I never had an intention to make this iPad, MacBook, just because I brought a chip in it. You fail to understand and see the bigger picture. So when you have a Rahu effect, you fail to understand and see the bigger picture. And when you fail to see the bigger picture, you either get disappointed or your own action put you into a financial problem. This was a quick analysis, a funny way to understand planets. But when I was following up, because I have some Apple products, I use Mac ecosystem, I quickly understood that how brilliantly Rahu played this game, that this confusion came exclusively at the time when Rahu is in Rohini Nakshatra. But I am sure you will get some idea, and if you're a true seeker, you will see astrology working in day-to-day activity. So that was a quick, funny take, quick, interesting take. If you like this kind of short, quick videos, do write your suggestions in the comment section below. Subscribe the channel, stay connected, like and share and subscribe. This is your host Punneit. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.